Hello, welcome back. Welcome for the first time. I'm Lorenzo, and today I'm going to be going over my 2023 shopping goals. Now, these goals are just for my wardrobe, not really related to anything else in my spending. And I'm basing these goals on the audit I did on my spending last year, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll just link it below. And based on that audit, I really want to make some changes to my spending for this year. My first goal with my spending is to spend no more than $3,000 per year or $250 per month on my wardrobe. Last year, my goal was to spend no more than $2,400 on my wardrobe, and I ended up spending $3,546.70. So I really failed. Because of that, I decided to up my spending for this year to make it more realistic. My next rule for myself for spending next year is to not buy anything from J. Crew. And this isn't really a bash on J. Crew, it's just that I discovered J. Crew last year and it ended up spending about a third of my overall spending on J. Crew items, and I just really don't feel like I got the worth out of that I would have expected from spending $1,000. And J. Crew really has tempting sales, and I am a sucker for those, so I think it's just better to take a year off of spending at J. Crew and just see how that does me. My next goal is to not purchase from H&M or other fast fashion stores. I did pretty good with this last year. I had a couple of purchases from H&M, but for the most part, it wasn't a huge amount of my spending, so that was pretty good. I really want to keep up with that because there's no need for me to buy fast fashion. I can easily thrift or just buy a higher quality piece. I'm not considering J. Crew or like Banana Republic fast fashion, even though it probably is. And the reason I'm not considering those as fast fashion is because they tend to have higher quality pieces that I keep for a lot longer. And they also have kind of less trendy things and more classic pieces. So even though they're not probably the most ethical in any capacity, I'm just not going to consider them fast fashion because they're not super trendy and they are higher quality. My next goal is to only buy one new item per month. So there's no limitations on what I'm getting secondhand for as long as I'm staying within my budget, that's fine. But I only want to buy one new item. So like if I wanted to buy a purse and it's new, that's the one new thing I get that month. My goal with this is to not only reduce the amount of items I'm buying new, oh my gosh, the sun's going crazy, but to also really think about what that item's gonna be. A lot of times I would just buy things because they were on sale and they seemed like something I would like. So only allowing myself to have one, oh my gosh, the sun is just like crazy right now. I swear, it was like not here a while ago. So only allowing myself to have one would really make me put more thought into what that item is. Because some things I only ever want to buy new. Like for example, like shoes. If I'm buying shoes, it's probably going to be new, and that's going to be a use case where I need to really think about what month I'm spending that in and what that piece is. The next goal I have is to repair or alter existing clothing to be what I want it to be. I have a good handful of items that have just been, kind of subpar because I haven't altered them or they have a hole in them, something like that, and I just haven't gotten around to fixing that. And that's gonna be a huge goal for me. I'm gonna try to make myself get through those things before I buy new pieces, but that's hard. So if I don't in the next year repair or alter all of those items, then I need to just get rid of them next year. There's like no point in keeping things that aren't gonna be a great quality in my wardrobe at this point. Speaking on quality, my next goal is to invest in things like coats, shoes, high quality jewelry, and the kind of basics that I wear every day, like a great pair of pants, a great pair of jeans, like a collared shirt. But of course, only if I need those items. So collared shirts, I've found at the thrift store, I don't really need any more collared shirts. that's not something I'm gonna be investing in this year. But like a really nice coat, I am looking for one. So that is something I would consider investing in, or a really nice pair of earrings, something like that. Another goal of mine is to remind myself that I don't need anything. I have enough clothes to get through a week, to get through probably a month, honestly. I don't need to buy more clothes. So the things that I'm buying, they need to be like something I really want and something that I think I would get a lot of wear out of and just really make me feel like I'm owning my personal style. Now, I think there will be some items that I buy specifically from thrift stores that maybe are more trendy, or I'm trying out a new style, and I think that's okay, but that's gonna have to be limited to thrift store buys, and it's gonna have to be, you know, on the less expensive side of things. I still want to allow myself to explore and try new things, but I want the stakes to be low, and I don't want to have like huge heavy purchases of things that I just get rid of in a year. I'd rather have something to show for it, my money, like a designer coat, or even if it's not designer, just like a beautiful like material coat, something like that. So those are all my goals. And I think I feel optimistic. I don't think they're like super hard to follow, but I think I will need to take myself off mailing lists and really think a lot about my purchases. And when I mean think a lot, I mean think for more than a month on something that's more expensive. For example, I have like a list of items. I'll read you a couple. I want to get some replacement Tevas or Tevas, however you say it, because I've had my pair for 5, 6+ years and they're just done, you know, so I'm gonna recycle those back to Teva and just buy a new pair. And I just haven't gotten around to that because it's not an exciting purchase. Like, it's not like they're beautifully high fashion, amazing, gonna change my life. Because I already had a pair, it like was easy to just keep wearing them even if they were kind of gross. But it's something I know I wear like all the time in the summertime, so that is something that I would be buying new, and I've thought about for honestly like multiple years. Another item would be replacing my hoop earrings that are just falling apart, like the stones are falling out of them. It's like growing molds. Like they're just gross at this point. They aren't high quality enough for me to repair them or even pass them along to anyone because they're just in such bad condition. So that is something I've thought a lot about, and they are my most worn earrings, so I would definitely want to replace them with something of higher quality. Possibly made of diamond, but probably not. Maybe something more like topaz or sapphire. And yeah, that would be a purchase that I've already thought a lot about and it's already on my list for this coming year. So those are all my goals. I'm optimistic about them, and I really think I'm heading into a phase of life where I can invest in really nice pieces instead of just buying the cheapest, nicest thing at the time. I've found a lot of things that I've worn a lot, and I think I've kind of honed in on my style a bit, that it's gonna make shopping a bit easier for me now. Granted, there's still a lot of things I want to explore, different styles and things like that, but I think for the most part I have a good base wardrobe, and so anything I add to it now will need to have a purpose. Even if that purpose is just to make me feel awesome, like a giant ruby pendant. Something I don't need, but it would make me feel like really special. That is all I have for today. If you liked this video, consider subscribing. I have a lot of videos I made in the past year and I plan on keep making them, so I can see you every week for those. Let me know if you have any shopping goals for this year. I'm always curious what other people are doing, and I honestly don't hear a lot about people's like actual numbers of what they spend. So I'm always curious for those things. Hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you next week with another video. Tschüss!